Hey, it's Elysia, your Mortgage Millions mentor. As you know, one of the hottest things right now is addressing the topic of how your buyer's agents get their offers accepted. And we're talking about listing agents are getting 20 plus offers on a single listing. So I've been working on a list for the past couple of days actually, and I put it together special for you. So what happens if you don't get your offers accepted? Well, let's look at why this is so important. Because if you don't get your offers accepted, you have all these clients that are pre-approved and just chasing houses that they don't get. That's a waste of their time. They get frustrated. It's a waste of your time. You get frustrated. Their buyer's agent, it's a waste of the buyer's agent's time. They may get frustrated. So the quicker you can have an offer accepted, the less work for you, and you can move forward and go to closing and everybody's happy. Your client, your buyer's agent, and you, right? And then we get paid. And so does your agent, which is super important. So we're going to go through a few of these. So first of all, this is old school, tried and true. Definitely you want a letter from the buyer about how they can envision themselves in this home. It's their forever home. They love it so much. They want to grow their family in this home. Totally from the heart, sincere and genuine. So believe it or not, we had a client last week that actually got their offer accepted because of that letter. So huge, right? So definitely you want to include a letter from the buyer. So you can address that with them. Your realtor can address that with them, but definitely you want to have your buyer's agent include that in the offer. So that's the first suggestion. Number two, this is old school. And I have some new tricks for you as well. But right now we're on old school. So number two, you as the loan officer need to call the seller. And you want to talk about how your buyer really wants this home. They love this home. And also you want to make sure that you include how well qualified that they are. Your buyer is well qualified. So that's the other thing. If you have a pre-approved checklist that you can send over and say, hey, not only did I review their credit, however, in addition, we also reviewed their income and asset documentation, right? So we have their pay stubs, we have their W-2s, we have their tax returns, we reviewed them. I reviewed them. You, the loan officer, reviewed them. In addition, we also have their bank statements. So we verified their funds for down payment and closing, right? This stuff is super important. And even better, if your company offers this, we do a full underwrite based on TBD address, right? So if that's happening, you're in great shape, right? So if you have a full underwrite, again, it makes you stand out even more. So not only call the seller, I also like to do, and I may have mentioned this before, I like to do a video approval that goes over with the pre-approval. And also in this market, pre-quals are not even, they're a waste of time. So you need a full pre-approval. If you can get a full underwrite with a property address to be determined, then great. But I also send over a video. And this doesn't have to be a video that you do every time. If you want it to be, great. But it doesn't have to be, because basically you can say all generic, leave out the buyer's name, leave out the property address, because that will be on your pre-approval letter. So that also will help make it custom and save you time. So you just do one video. And it says, hello, I'm Elysia Stobbe with ABC Lending. And I just want to let you know we reviewed your buyer's full file, right? You can say, I have it here. I reviewed your buyer's full file. I have it here. And we went over everything. We have, so everything you're going to talk about if you call the seller also. But this will also save you time. And the video will go out because you'll send it with the pre-approval letter, even if you don't get a hold of the listing agent, right? So and one more reason this video is important. Hi, I have your the buyer's full file right here. We reviewed their income and asset documentation. So that means pay stubs, W-2s, tax returns, bank statements. We've ran it through automated underwriting. We have a conditional approval, right? So again, we're talking about how to stand out and get your offers accepted. So that's another one. Send the video with the pre-approval letter. In addition, you or the buyer's agent can have your borrower do a video also, right? Because now there's a face with the name that goes with the letter, and they can basically read their letter. Hi, I'm Johnny Appleseed, and I would love to buy your home. Oh my gosh, here's my wife, here's my kids. We love this part about your, the kitchen is so great, and I can totally see all of us, enjoying dinner and spending our time there, and it would mean so much to us if we could buy your home. Right? Again, genuine, sincere. Always, don't make up stuff. Genuine, sincere. So however that buyer really feels about that home, right? We love it that the color is fuchsia and we're never going to change it, right? Or, oh my God, we've always wanted to have a pool in the backyard. Sweet. All right. So borrow video. Of course, you can also waive the appraisal, right? Of course, as the lender, we're going to need one anyway, but that's something that you can get really aggressive, and they've been doing this in different parts of the country for quite some time. Also, if your borrower has it, let's just say they really only want to put down 5%, but they're able to put down 20%, you can put that in your pre-approval letter, and then, of course, the buyer can just put down 5% and you go to closing. But 20% versus 5% down in the pre-approval letter is going to make your offer more attractive because it makes your buyer look more solid, which they are if they can put down 20%. It also shows that they have the cash in case they need to make up a difference between the appraisal and the sales price. And that's definitely an issue that we're having a little bit of a challenge with right now as the market continues to appreciate so quickly. Appraisals just aren't quite catching up sometimes with the value. Okay, so we have that. Also, again, old school. Ask your buyer's agent to ask the sellers what they really want. If they say best price, okay. But what if they say, actually, we're nervous. We listed this, but we don't know where we're going to live yet. We'd like to rent back for 2 or 3 weeks. That's another thing. Okay, not only you can ask and find out, but if that is the case, of course you can offer that. Because they can do a rent back for up to 30 or 60 days, depending on the loan program type that you're doing. Right? So then that takes a whole lot of stress off the seller. I'm selling this, but I don't know where I'm going to go. Right? Well, we just alleviated that, right? How much is that worth in case you don't have the highest offer? Is that worth $2,000, $5,000, $10,000 to the seller to know that they don't have that stress and they'll do a rent back? It's worth it to ask. Absolutely. Okay, a couple other things. For your buyers, you can also run numbers for them when we're talking about waiving an appraisal, okay? So as the loan officer, you would run the numbers for, let's say it comes in at the let's say the appraisal comes in at the sales price. Let's say it doesn't, right? You can even ask that buyer's agent what they really think that house is going to appraise for. Involve your realtors, get their participation, get their buy-in so that you can all work as a team and help your client, the buyer. So let's just say, it's going to come in 25, let's just say it's a $300,000 sales price. They think it might come in $10,000 under. Okay, so then you have a point of negotiation, right? So basically, the choices are your buyer can walk, your buyer can make up 100% of that difference, or sometimes the seller will meet in the middle. Depends how many offers they have waiting. They might just be like, next, right? And also, obviously, a conventional loan pre-approval is going to be stronger than FHA, because FHA, that appraisal is going to stick with the property for 6 months. Something to consider also. Conventional has a more likely chance of getting accepted on multiple offer situation than FHA. So anyway, when you're looking at this, so you can say to your client, okay, I'll run these scenarios for you, right? Here's the extra cash out of pocket it would cost you. Okay, let's go back to the scenario. $300,000 house comes in 10 grand light. You're going to have to bring 10 grand plus closing costs and your down payment, if any, depending on the loan type. And then I would also, as a courtesy run for them, 50% of the difference, what's the extra cash out of pocket to your buyer? So your client knows you're vested in them winning. Right? Here's what it's going to take if you want to get that house in this market. So I would run 100% difference, I would run 50% difference, and I would run 25% difference. Just on that general scenario. It's not a lot of work, but it shows your client that you care. And they're not totally shocked, right? So here it is up front. Do they want to waive the appraisal? Will they, So these are important things. Okay, we're going to talk about a few more tips here. And this is the stuff that's these are the details. This is the information that sets you apart from other loan officers when you're working with your realtors. And right now, while interest rates are going up, everybody's like, oh, we need to call our realtors now. Hello? Yes. And so if you've maintained your realtor relationships through this refi boom, congratulations. If you're new to the business and you're building your realtor relationships right now, this is how you stand out in this market. Right? And if you've maintained your realtor relationships, congratulations. And this is how you continue to maintain them, by standing out, delivering great value to your realtors. All right, so a few other ideas. Also, you can text reviews. You can also email these reviews of yourself, right? I'm a 5-star lender. I have also 2 other awards. I have 5-star reviews on Zillow. Whatever it is that's particular to you, right? Let's say you don't have reviews. Let's say you're newer in the industry. Do you have a written or video testimonial from a buyer, or even better, a listing agent, or even better, both, about how you offer prompt, courteous service, you keep everybody informed, including the listing agent and the buyer's agent and your client, updated throughout the entire transaction, and you close on time? That's important to the listing agent because it's important to the seller. Okay? So you can take those reviews, those video testimonials, those written testimonials about you as the lender, and send them to the listing agent. Also, if your buyer's agent has reviews that says they were nice to work with, they and or you should send those to the seller, to the listing agent as well, because the listing agent wants to work with buyer's agents who are great to work with, right? What makes agents crazy? The other agent on the other side of the transaction doesn't call them back. They don't communicate, right? These are important things. So if you can start out up front by showing that listing agent that you and your buyer's agent are great to work with, again, just one more thing. We're stacking all these positive, amazing things. If you can do all these things, awesome. If you can do 3 of these things, it'll make you stand out. If you can do 5, you are doing far and above, way over what other loan officers are doing to stand out. Again, if you can use text as well as email, if you can use video as well as written for testimonials, this is a great way that you can stand out. So, I'm Elysia Stobbe, your Mortgage Millions mentor. I look forward to catching up with you soon.